When we deploy the Palo Alto Firewall, often we use it to filter the traffic based on the source IP and the destination IP. This is great, but in some scenarios we might want to filter the traffic based on the user identity. So for example, we might want to say Bob from HR department, he shouldn't be allowed to go to a specific website, but Alice from IT department should be allowed to go to that specific website. So we want to use some criteria based on the username, user department, rather than just looking at the source IP address and the destination IP address. Well, we can do that with Palo Alto by using a feature called User ID. And User ID essentially solves these problems. It allows us to filter the traffic based on the user identity. And that's what we're going to see in this video. I'm going to show you how to associate the Palo Alto Firewall with the Windows Server Active Directory enabled, and then we're going to see how to map users to a certain group and create policies based on the user identity. Okay, this is the topology that I'll be using. I'm going to share the link in the video description so that you can download directly from my platform at www.silesiocarvalho.com. There are other free contents that you might want to take a look as well. Okay, so in this topology, what are we going to focus on? So we have two new devices, okay, two PCs, and these are domain PCs, meaning I have a domain running, so that's binary avenue.com, so that's my company's name, and we have these two PCs that are part of this domain, binaryavenue.com. Now, I'll also have this Linux PC that is not part of the domain, so that we can see the scenario where we have domain PCs accessing a resource and PCs that are not part of the domain accessing the same resource. Then going to pass through this firewall, and they are all sitting on the same subnet 10.1.0.0, and their source IP address is being translated to the firewall outside IP address on subnet 1.168.1.0, and essentially will be 1.168.1.1. So I have net configured, and they're trying to reach this server, that's the Linux 6, and I enabled the web server service on this PC. Okay, and in terms of configuration, I only enabled like net and policy that allows any traffic from the inside goes to the outside. I'm going to test this right now. So let's see, in terms of policy, that's all I have. So I have the inside to outside, so the same policy that we used on the previous videos, and you only have this rule allowing the subnet 10.1.0.0 to access the outside in any destination. So let's just run some tests real quick. So from Linux 5 PC, and I should be able to ping 1.168.4.6. so that's the web server. It's okay, it's running. So now let's try to reach using actually the web service. So that should be 1.168.4.6 as well, and it works. Awesome. So now let's test from one of the domain based PCs. Okay, let's log in. Let's open this private window. So probably have to increase the resources on this one. Okay, and let's try to go to 1.168.4.6, and it should work as well. Okay, and we can see this is the default page. Yeah, it works. Okay, everything is working just fine. So now let's see how to make the firewall filter the traffic based on the user identity. So let's jump onto the Windows server and start creating some accounts to play with it. Okay, now let's go to Tools, Active Directory, Users and Computers. And so first we're going to create one account that is considered to be a service account. Essentially, this is an account that will be used by the firewall to query for system events on the Active Directory. So we're going to name these as pen admin, and because this account must have certain privilege in order to query which user is authenticated on the Active Directory. I'm just going to copy the administrator account. So just going to copy and going to name this as pan admin, and user logon name will be the same. And now I'm going to set the password, and password never expires. Next, finish. Okay, so now we're going to create 2 user groups, and one will be new group, so that's going to be sales group, and we're going to create another group that's going to be contractors. Okay, contractors. And now we're going to create 2 users. So one will be Silesio, and Silesio will be will be a member of the group, user group sales. Type the password. Oh, that's wrong. It's the wrong one. Yeah, user must change. Nope, user cannot change. Password never expires. Yeah. Okay. And Silesio is member of sales. Yep. Done. Now let's create another user that's going to be Carvalho. And Carvalho, let's first finish creating the account. And Carvalho cannot change, password never expires. Carvalho will be member of contractors. So contractors, check. Okay, so we have 3 accounts. One that's going to be the service account used by the firewall, and 2 user accounts just to test like normal users on the Active Directory, and 2 user groups. Okay, so let's go back to the firewall and see how to associate the Active Directory with the firewall. Okay, so first we go to device, and let's go to user identification. So user identification, and here we want to change domain DNS name. Here's going to be that's going to be binaryavenue.com, and that's pan admin, that's the user. My domain name is going to be binaryavenue.com .user passwords, and that's it. So now we're going to monitor at the server just to make sure that to know whether the server is reachable or not. Going to add, just going to name this as binary avenue server. Yep, and that's going to be Active Directory. The network address is going to be 10.103. Okay, now by default the firewall will use the management interface for services like LDAP, query, DNS, and even user ID agent. Now in my case, in this topology, the Active Directory is sitting on the subnet 10.100, and it is the same subnet as the firewall is using for data service. So we have to change the firewall to query the LDAP and user ID to be this data interface. So by creating or by changing the service route. So in this case, we have to go to setup, services, service route configuration, customize, and we're going to select LDAP, and we're going to change to use the interface 1/1. That's the inside interface in my topology, and that's going to, this has the IP address 10.101. So I'm going to select that, and I have another one that we have to change, and that's going to be the user ID agent. So we're going to change this to be also to use the interface 1/1. We're going to save that. Now if you go back to user identification, we want to see the status to reach the server to be connected or green one. Okay, so we're going to commit this and see whether the status is going to be green. Okay, the status, oh great, the status says that it is connected, which means that the firewall is able to reach the Active Directory. Okay, so next we're going to create an LDAP profile, LDAP server profile. We're going to add, again, name this as binary avenue LDAP profile. And we're going to add, again, now the name is going to be binary avenue just server. Yeah, yes, AD. Okay, and LDAP server is going to be 10103, and we're going to use the default port. As for server settings, so here we're going to change to Active Directory, the base DN, so that's going to be DC equals binary avenue domain name, and that's going to be com. Now the bind DN, that's going to be panadmin at binaryavenue.com. All the passwords, the password for this account, and we're going to disable require SSL TLS for secure connection. So panadmin binaryavenue.com, binary avenue, comma DC equal com. Okay, so let's save this. Now we have to go to user identification, and here on group mappings we're going to select which groups we want to use in our policy. So let's do the following. We're going to allow only the users that are part of the sales group, and everyone else should be denied access to any resource in the on the network. Okay, so let's add, and we're going to name this as binary avenue group a mapping, and we're going to select the server profile we just created, so binary avenue LDAP profile. And here on group include list, let's see if we can query. Yeah, we can. So let's select just sales, and we should see sales and contractors. What is it? Yeah, it's right here. So sales and contractors. Okay, so those are the only two groups we're going to use from the active domain. Before we change the policy to allow traffic based on the user identity, we want to make sure that we have user identification enabled at the zone. Okay, so let's go to network zones, inside zone, and here we want to enable user identification. And we can also specify which subnet, from which subnet those users should be validated. In this case, I'm just going to use this object, the 10100 subnet. Okay, and I'm going to save this. Next, let's go to policies, and we're just going to change the first policy that at this moment is allowing any source, the subnet 10100 going to any destination. So here on the source, we want to change the source user to include only the sales team. So okay, so it looks like I can't use that now, so probably I have to push those changes, to commit those changes, and then we'll be able to use the source group on the policy. So let's commit those changes. Okay, so meanwhile I'm going to this domain PC and try to log in as Silesio, because it's going to take some time to load the profile on this PC. And on this one, let's try to log in as Carvalho. Yep. Okay, so both PCs are up, so we should be able to reach the server on 16846. So this is one of the PCs. Yeah, it's working great. So this should be Silesio, and this one should be Carvalho and should work as well. Okay, great, it's working. Okay, we can close these and go back to the firewall also the changes were applied. So now let's change this rule to only allow users that are part of the sales group to access any destination. So any other PC, even on the same subnet 10.1.0.0, shouldn't be allowed to access any destination. So we're going to add. So now you can see that now we have both groups. So we're going to select sales, and we're going to save this. So this is the only change. So now we're going to commit this. Okay, the changes were applied. So now let's start by testing from Linux PC. So Linux PC should lose connectivity to the server at this moment. And yeah, ping isn't working anymore. So let's try to open the page, and probably the outcome will be the same. So 168.46. And yep, looks like it's not working at all. Okay, so now let's test from this is which one I should be able to identify based on the user, and which one is this one. So this is Silesio. So Silesio should be able to access the web server, but Carvalho should not. So it's 168.46. Okay, it's working for Silesio. Now let's see if is it going to work for Carvalho as well. Okay, so 168.46, and yeah, definitely it's not working. So let's give it a couple of seconds. Yeah, it shouldn't take that much to load the page. Okay, and we can also validate that by going to the firewall and looking at the traffic. And yeah, couldn't reach this page, and we should see that now. Yeah, we can see. So we can identify the not only the IP address but also the user. So Carvalho is using this PC that has the IP address 10.1.0.12. Okay, and although this is going to the broadcast address, and we can see here Silesio as well. So this is it, guys. If you took value from this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.